Okay, what's up, guys? What's up, everybody? I don't know how many people we got here so far. Guys, turn your cameras on. So unprofessional. Let's see. Need to open up both of the chats here real quick. So we're live on Kick and we're live on YouTube. Spoopy. You're spoopy. What's up, Arnie, Skabibi, Maximus? And we even have the star of the show, Jack. Which, part of him is kind of a little bit invisible because of the way I have it set up. But yeah, cool guy Jack. He's the spoopiest of it all. He's scary. This ain't Jackbox clickbait. I changed it. Let me make sure that it changed.
Aren't we?
They're talking about on Kick.
Oh, okay.
Which no, it's set on other watch party, which that's fine. I think that people at Kick like manually do that. So whatever. Your camera is malfunctioning. Sunfire, we'll throw it away. What's up, Sapphire? We have Sapphire and Sunfire. Whoa. A lot of fire going on. Okay, so this is just like I say in all of these episodes, we make a lot of jokes and stuff. Make a lot of jokes about these crazy cases and everything, but it's all in good faith. We're just having fun. You know, if you can't take a joke, then go somewhere else. Okay? Right, Negan?
Yeah.
Yeah, Negan told him. You guys.
Just remember, if you can take a dick, you can take a joke.
Yeah, we all know you guys can take a dick. Sunfire is a comic character? Yeah, right. Timmy. What
Me?
are you doing? Turn your camera on.
You want to see my boobies?
Yeah. Alright, so this is, I guess, going to be an kind of a short episode. At least not... the last episode we did was 5 hours long. This definitely isn't going to be 5 hours long. It's only a 39-minute long video here.
I slept for 3 hours of that.
Yeah. Yeah, we just kept going. So, alright. Let's get to it.
Hello?
What happened?
Police. I don't know. This house is big. I
What's
don't
the
know
title
where
of
my
the
little cousin
thing?
is.
Huh?
What's the title of the case or the video we're going to be watching?
When an evil mother realizes she's been caught.
This is definitely the video I watched earlier today while I was cleaning.
Well, you're going to rewatch it. Maybe finish watching it.
No, it's perfectly fine. It was like I was preparing or something.
Yeah.
But I didn't know this was the one you chose.
And if any of you guys are patrons, $10 patrons of mine, and you want to come on the show right now, feel free to go into the waiting room in the Dank Dumpster Discord.
Yeah, come on the show.
Come on. Come to Games You Love. It's only $10 to get to come on Games You Love. It's really good. Trust me. It's way better than those damn drunken pissants. Damn
You
it.
should get his son. You should get Brett Keen's son on your
Dude,
stream.
I'll become his best friend. It'll be great.
He's like a little bit younger than us, I think. I think he's like in his early 20s.
Yeah. I'm gonna turn his son into a dirty, stinking pothead like me. Or don't stink in Shabisky, smoke weed all day.
They're a bunch of filthy losers.
Filthy stoner, atheist losers, godless heathens. As a joke, but it triggered me. Yes, they called you Starfire. Is that from
Teen Titans.
Yeah, I was like thinking teenage. I was trying to think of what the name of it was. I knew it started with like teen. All right, let's get this going. Just back it right back.
Hello?
What happened?
Police. I don't know. This house is big. I don't know where my little cousin at. So can you please?
Where is the 3-month-old baby?
The baby lady. The baby is on my mama's kitchen counter with his head smashed. Now I need you to please send me.
Okay, is it a male or female?
Know where my little cousin is at. Now if your little girl pop up with a weapon, I'm not gonna have a little cousin no more. So can you please? I know it's protocol. Can you please just send the police?
As disturbing as this find was, there was something even more terrifying lurking nearby. The killer was hiding somewhere in the house.
Look,
Is the baby breathing?
listen, lady. The baby is deceased.
Okay. All right, we're setting the police and an ambulance, okay?
Mama.
What is your name, sir?
Mama. Son. Hello.
What is your name?
I'm Robert Stewart.
20-year-old Deasia Watkins and her boyfriend James Brown welcomed their healthy baby girl Deasia Watkins on December 4th, 2014. At first, everything seemed to be going well for the couple. Deasia was excited to become a mother, and after a tough childhood of her own, she vowed to give her child the love she'd never received. But no one would have ever predicted the sheer horror that lay ahead. It all began when Cheviot police were dispatched to the apartment where the family was living on January 25, 2015, around midnight. Upon hearing Deasia's screams and baby Jania's cries, multiple neighbors had become very concerned and placed 911 calls.
Was that guy's name James Brown?
No, it was Robert something.
It is James Brown.
Brown.
Yeah, it's James
Robert
Brown.
was the one called. Yeah, Robert was the one that called. My bad.
Dude, I didn't know James Brown was in this.
Open the door. When officers threatened to force entry into the apartment, a young man opened the door, who was soon determined to be James' cousin, Chris Gully. Right away, members of law enforcement detected a strong odor of marijuana and noted Deasia.
See, this is proof right here. We need to outlaw them fucking potheads. Fucking no more of this damn stinking weed. They're just gonna become murder killer people anyway.
They baby killers. They know that they call it the devil's lettuce for some reason. And what does the devil like? Baby souls.
Baby souls.
His behavior seemed erratic. According to official case notes, as an officer tried to take Deasia out of Deasia's arms in fear for the baby's safety, Deasia allegedly attempted to choke Deasia, who was only a mere 7 weeks of age. EMTs were called to the scene to perform welfare checks on both Deasia and Deasia. They eventually managed to take Deasia, and Deasia immediately passed out on the floor, though the cause of her having lost consciousness is unknown. She was soon moved to Deaconess Hospital for psychiatric care, where she would remain on a 72-hour investigative hold. By the following day, her diagnosis had been established. She was suffering from postpartum psychosis. In addition, marijuana was found in her system, though she denied using it initially. She was placed on an antipsychotic medication. Due to side effects associated with the medication, Deasia was informed that she would have to discontinue nursing Deasia. And based on Deasia's behavior, staff expressed concern to the caseworker that Deasia didn't seem to be grasping the seriousness of the situation. According to case notes, they felt that she was minimizing the incident, as she described it as no big deal. By January 30th, Deasia had returned to the apartment, and a safety plan was officially in place. She was allowed supervised contact with Deasia, provided Deasia took her prescribed medication, and that either James or his sister Jaleisha was present at all times. But a visit from the caseworker reinforced the fact that Deasia wasn't on board with the plan. She hadn't filled the prescription for her antipsychotic.
Since Gene ain't here, I'm gonna say something that I think Gene would bring up at this point that has nothing to do with it, but has something to do with it.
She's fat. No, that's what he would normally say by now. He'd be like, "Oh, she's fat," because she's not exactly like super
Yeah,
skinny.
you could tell she's not a good mom. She's not feeding that baby. She's feeding herself.
Yeah. I'm
But
not.
seriously, what's up with all these names?
Ooh, lagging a bit. Here's Booby Jules.
She's fat.
What's up, Booby? Oh, now you're back.
Yo, what's up?
Hey. Well,
How's
how's it going, cool guy?
Nothing, just watching some Dank Dumpster.
Heck yeah. This is hella dank and hella dumpstery. It's great.
Hell yeah.
What did you say, Negan? You like hella lagged.
Oh, Gene would be like, what's up with all these names? Deasia and, like, stuff like that.
I thought it was spelt differently in the description.
It's D-E Asia.
Yeah, he would definitely make fun of their names. What a piece of shit. Fuck Gene.
Narcotic medication. The caseworker reiterated that it was imperative Deasia take her medication, or it wouldn't be safe for Janiyah to stay in the home. James made it clear that she'd have to leave the home if she didn't comply, as the apartment lease was allegedly under his name. Deasia reluctantly agreed. She didn't want to be separated from Janiyah, and in addition, she felt she had nowhere else to go. Of course, soon these concerns would no longer be relevant, as disaster was lurking just around the corner. 1 week later, a caseworker completed an unannounced visit at the residence and was unable to verify if Deasia had filled her prescription. Over the next couple of weeks, everything continued to deteriorate. By the end of February, Deasia had abandoned the apartment and moved in with an aunt. It was clear that the current situation wasn't working, and it was about to become exponentially worse. Custody proceedings began on March 6th. As paternity had not been established and a mental health assessment needed to be completed on Deasia, the magistrate who presided over the hearing granted custody to the Hamilton County Department of Job and Family Services. During the interim, Janiyah was placed in the care of Deborah Stewart, Deasia's aunt. Neither James nor Deasia were allowed to see Janiyah, and Deborah agreed to the terms. During the caseworker's visit to her home, she confirmed that she'd not allowed Deasia contact with Janiyah. She was adhering to the agreement, and baby Janiyah was thriving. But in actuality, things weren't at all as they appeared to be, nor as Deborah claimed them to be. You see, Deasia had been spending time with Janiyah, a lot of time actually. She'd moved into Deborah's home days earlier. Deborah was coping with her own personal issues and health problems. Caring for a baby on her own was just too much to handle. So Deborah allowed Deasia to stay, despite the fact that she'd explicitly agreed not to allow her contact with Janiyah. 3 days after the caseworker's
Can you pause
visit,
it?
a life came to a
So her aunt lied to Job and Family Services, saying that Deasia didn't have any contact with her kid because that was one of the stipulations of the aunt having like custody of the kid, is like neither of the parents of the kid were allowed to be in contact for like a certain amount of time or whatever until they got things figured out. So this aunt lying to Job and Family Services like doesn't look good, you know what I mean? Like after everything that happened.
Well, yeah. She's responsible for what ends up happening. Which who knows what it is? I don't know.
That's why you don't fucking lie about serious shit.
Yeah, that's why
Like,
you don't
when it-
sign papers like that
This is
and
so
not follow.
sad. This
Yeah.
is so sad. This little baby didn't ask for any of this. She didn't even ask to be born, and yet she was in custody. Her mom is. This is just so sad. Whenever I see little kids get hurt like this, I just want to cry.
Yeah.
shocking
Let's continue it here.
brutal end within the confines of Deborah's walls. A dispatcher received the frantic 911 call early that morning.
Thanks so much for being here, Robert.
Sunshine, I want to the address of your emergency.
Somebody please send the police. Please.
What is the address?
5957 Wild West.
Okay, ma'am.
Lord, help me.
Ma'am, who were you you were just talking to somebody. Who were you just talking to?
My son, he came over here. He found that I was asleep.
Ma'am, you weren't crying but I heard you talking to him. You were fine. And then when I picked up, you started crying. I need you to tell me what's going on.
The dispatcher is trying to make sense of the situation, but so far, nothing is adding up, and her skepticism is evident.
Oh my God, help me.
Listen to me. I need you to stop crying, okay? Stop crying. I need you to take a deep breath and tell me what happened.
All I know is my son came in here and woke me up and said, Mama, the baby's dead. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Here, talk to my son, brother.
How old is the baby?
The baby is 3 months. Oh my God, I'm going to jail.
Deborah passed the phone off to her son, Robert, who'd arrived at the home along with his children just minutes earlier. It was his youngest child who had arrived in the kitchen first and bore witness to the terribly gruesome scene. Robert had immediately ushered his children out of the house to safety, then re-entered, desperate to locate his mother,
Can you
Deborah.
pause it?
Hello?
And the Deborah's son's kids walk into the house and go in the kitchen, and the youngest kid sees the remains first, so this fucked up another kid's life in the process.
Mm-hmm.
That image will be burnt in their brain for that's our core memory for sure.
Yeah.
This image right now is so disturbing.
What happened?
Police. I don't know. This house is big. I don't know where my little cousin is. So can you please?
Where is the 3-month-old baby?
The baby is on my mama's kitchen counter.
Deasia was nowhere to be found, and Robert feared she might have been in danger or had potentially been killed as well.
Okay, I need to know what happened to the baby.
I don't know what happened to the baby. I came into the house. She told me. Came into the house. The baby was on the counter. My mom was in the bed asleep. I woke my mom up and we calling you. That's all I know. I don't know nothing else.
Okay. Listen to me.
Look,
Is the baby breathing?
listen, lady. The baby is deceased.
The first 2 officers arrived a few minutes later and immediately entered the home. One officer made his way to the kitchen and quickly confirmed that baby Janiyah was deceased. Simultaneously, the second officer located Deborah in the bathroom of the master bedroom. Officers on scene radioed for additional officers to assist. Amidst the chaos and confusion, a few officers cleared the home and, in the process, they located Deasia. She was in the bed in her room, tucked under the covers, though her hair remained visible. Officers pulled the covers back, and Deasia, without so much as a word, was handcuffed and moved to the hallway and remained under the watch of another responding officer. The rest of the home was cleared without incident. As Deborah's house had become a crime scene that would require thorough processing, the parties were moved to the Criminal Investigation Section, known as CIS, at the local Cincinnati police station. It was there that everything began to unfold, but it would take some time to get to the horrendous truth hidden beneath a cluster of outrageous lies.
Can you pause it?
Sound like a fucking
This is-
goat or something.
This is the Aunt Deborah and the son Robert, and I think the sister, Robert's sister, so the daughter of Deborah too. Because they didn't say who was coming in the room just now.
Yeah,
when I watched this
none of-
earlier, I thought this was the mom, the
Oh, it
mom of the baby. No, it's the aunt. It's the aunt and the son.
Okay.
Scoot over a little more.
Hey, Shab.
Hmm?
I'm gonna get going for this episode. I'll be on a different one. This one's a little too disturbing for me.
Okay. Alright, thanks for hanging out with us, cool guy. I'll see you soon, cutie pie.
No problem. See ya.
That's what
One
Taylor-
thing
did in the last episode too. She left because it was too disturbing.
The one I fell asleep on?
Yeah, I guess it was that one.
I slept really good that night.
Oh God.
But the whole thing about her, how she's crying and stuff, you know, like, to me, that was, like, kind of like a red flag, I guess, in a way. Like, or just how frantic she was being. But, like, just now, after I've watched this video, I understand why she was being that way, because this was fucking horrendous of what happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you should try to move the table. I'll move this over. Let's make it easier for her to get
Kill me. Baby, somebody help me. Somebody help me.
Mama, what does you want us to help you do? You can't bring back right. You know that. You go to and what
Can't take this.
and what about us? And what about your kids?
I can't.
What about your kids? What about us? You being real selfish.
No, I'm not.
It ain't nothing you can do. You trying to help. It ain't nothing you can do. Listen. Ain't nothing you can do. Take this tissue.
Baby,
I understand that. Take this tissue.
Deborah's
But dude,
gut-wrenching
hey,
cries can be
pause
heard
this.
from the nearby room.
If that was my mom, and if I was in that situation, dude, I would tell everybody, like, hey, get the fuck out of the room, give me and my mom a fucking second, and I would just, like, hold her. I would just tell her, shut up, like, don't talk, just breathe, and listen to my heartbeat, just calm down. Like, that's exactly what I'd do, like, until she calmed down, like, till we can get to, you know, why we're here.
Yeah. And Sapphire Negan said that because if that was the mom, it just seemed kind of like an odd crying going on that might be forced or something along the lines of that.
Yeah.
And but that's not the mom. This is the mom. This lady right here with the crazy hairdo going on. She's the mom.
Where Deasia is seated, waiting for detectives to enter. Meanwhile, Deborah
You can
is
hear her
beyond
aunt.
inconsolable.
This motherfucker just killed me. I can't take it. I don't think I can live through this. I don't think I can live through this. Oh God, I can't live through this. Oh no. I can't do it. I can't do it. Oh baby.
My name is Jen.
That poor baby. That poor baby.
More than 2 hours pass before detectives enter the room where a stoic Deasia remains seated.
Hi. Are you Dee Dee? My name's Jen. This is Jake. Are you handcuffed? Would you be more comfortable if I took those off?
Right away, Deasia sets the tone for the interview. She doesn't speak or respond to
pause it?
detectives.
2 hours in handcuffs, and then they finally come in. They're like, "Would this be more uncomfortable, or would you be more comfortable?" Like, and the fact that she doesn't respond is like shows you, like, you know, she's like cold, like in the head, like she's been sitting there for 2 hours handcuffed, and you're willing to, you know, build a decorum with her to uncuff her, and or you know, at least make her more comfortable, and she still like doesn't give a shit, like. It's just crazy how gone people are.
Yeah, definitely interesting.
What hand do you write with?
You right or left-handed? Are you right or left-handed so I can uncuff the other hand? Just forget it. Jake's gonna read something to you, okay? Just pay attention to him.
All right.
The detective reads Deasia her Miranda rights.
Do you understand all that? Do you understand what I read to you? Or do you have any questions on it? Do you not want to talk to us?
Dee Dee.
You okay? Do you not want to talk to us at all?
Dee Dee. How do you spell your name? Spell your name. I can't help you if you don't talk to me. Okay? I want to make sure you get the help that you need, and I can't do that without even knowing who you are. All I know is you go by
You know
Dee
who
Dee.
she is.
So how do you spell your name?
But Deasia refuses to sign off on the form to acknowledge that she has received and understands her rights.
We're gonna take some pictures of you, okay, and we're gonna get you some other clothes. I would like to sit down and talk with you and be able to see what you need that we can help you with, but I can't do that unless you talk back to me.
Despite the detectives' efforts to elicit a response from Deasia, they are unsuccessful. Shortly thereafter, a team arrives to handle photographs.
Dee Dee, go ahead and stand up. Stand up. You have gloves on? Yeah. Make her stand up. Go ahead and stand up. Can you get this on?
Let's do some pictures right now. Just
Sure.
can you prop them right there?
If I was
Several minutes
stuck in
later, the
a
photograph
if I was stuck in an interrogation room for over 2 hours, I know for a fact I would have to take a leak, and I would just piss everywhere. If I was this gone and like fucked up, like, you know, like I would just be an animal and just like piss everywhere, and like I would just be completely filthy. If my life is completely down the shitter, like I would try to be like the craziest I could, like forever after that. Like, I don't know.
That's already how you are. You're crazy.
have been taken,
Crazy.
and Deasia's clothing has been confiscated
Pee
and
everywhere.
retained as potential evidence.
You drink any of your water?
Upon re-entering the room, the detectives continue to run through the gamut of classic interrogation tactics, but each proves ineffective. Nearly 6 hours in, they've gotten nowhere with Deasia, and the meeting comes to an end. After the unavailing attempt to gain information from Deasia, she was transported to Deaconess Psychiatric Unit, where, yet again, she received treatment and was kept for observation. 3 days later, she's back at the station, seated in front of detectives.
By the way, if any of you guys, if you guys hate people that kill babies, then tip and help us with the cool guy goal up there, okay? If you don't tip, that means you like baby killers and you're a piece of shit. Okay, just saying.
And as you're about to see, this interview is in stark contrast to the one that took place previously.
You handcuffed?
Yes.
Ooh, she's talking. She speaks.
After 3 days of being in a psych ward.
Oh, this is after 3 days. I didn't pay attention to that. Okay. Damn.
You left or right-handed? Right-handed? And I'm going to read you a form here in a second. Okay, I'm going to ask you to sign it saying that I wrote it, that I read it off to you and that you understand what's on it. Okay.
Once again, the detective reads Deasia her rights.
Hey.
This time around,
Do you know why they asked her what hand she writes with and stuff like that?
To check their mental stability and everything?
No, so if they are gonna like uncuff her, they're gonna let loose her less dominant hand. And for people like me that are ambidextrous, like it doesn't matter what hand you uncuff. Like if we're gonna attack you with a free hand, you know, it doesn't matter. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like I can ride switch, no problem.
Oh, I see. Because they're gonna cuff the other hand to like the chair or whatever. They're gonna
Correct,
so
the
they'll cuff
dominant.
your dominant hand. Okay, that makes sense.
she signs the form, acknowledging that she has received and understands her Miranda rights. After some general questions, the detectives begin to work toward untangling the terrible mess that led to an unthinkable tragedy.
Also,
we're going to
hey.
talk to you.
If your non-dominant hand is free and they have you sign something, it makes your handwriting look like really shitty. So like
Yeah.
when the judge sees your handwriting, it's like the judge thinks like, oh, this person can't contribute to society. Look how they write their own name. you know, and it you know what I mean? It just makes the criminal look even worse when you write without your dominant hand. I'm sorry for interrupting so much.
Yeah, that makes sense. Guys, help with the goal, or Negan hates you, and Timmy too.
About the stuff that happened the other day. What I'd like to do is just go back, okay, way before any of that. We talked to James a little bit. You know, how'd you guys become boyfriend girlfriend?
We just got to know each other first.
How long ago did you guys get that place together? Was that before you were pregnant or while you were pregnant?
While I was pregnant.
Was he working anywhere?
Yes.
Where did he work at?
McDonald's.
At some point, once you had the child, you guys went back to the house where you and James were staying together, right? So you guys went back there after you left the hospital? Okay. At some point in January, the police were called to that house there. Do you remember all that?
No.
You don't remember that very well? Do you remember after the police were called there? Like at that point, they'd taken you up to the hospital then, had you evaluated, and then you were able to go back home? Do you remember all that? Well, at some point, after I talked to James, he said that you moved.
Hey, Negan coming through with a $15 tip says goal. Thank you, Negan. Yeah, be like Negan. Help with the cool guy goal up there. It's a little goal. We can accomplish it. I'm looking.
I knew you had 15. Huh? I knew you had 15 from the last one or whatever. I didn't know if it was the same one or if it reset.
Well, yeah, just because it's a different YouTube channel, I make a new goal because it's a different Streamlabs and everything. But yeah, you're right. I couldn't remember off the top of my head, but yeah, you're right. It was 15 off. So yeah, thank you. Yeah, be like Negan, guys, even if it's just a couple bucks.
Moved out of that place and went to stay with one of your aunts. Which aunt did you go to stay with?
My Aunt Debbie.
Aunt Debbie?
During Deborah's interview 3 days earlier, her sister Cindy assisted in answering questions posed by the detective and addressed this very topic.
She called my sister one day about a couple of weeks ago, asking could she come and get her. My sister said she can't see.
Hey, that must.
My sister said I can't.
That must be Deasia's mom and Deasia's aunt. Like, because that's Deborah's sister, you know, and Deasia probably called her mom saying, like, hey, can you, like, take care of my baby? And then their mom was like, no, but your aunt can.
Yeah, I think the woman that's freaking out the most, am I wrong to say that's the aunt that took custody of the kid? Yeah, that seems about right.
Aunt. And then the one sitting closest to the camera is probably Deasia's mom.
Yeah, that seems like that's probably the case.
Drive. I shouldn't be driving because I'm sick right now. She was crying so hard, like, please, Aunt Debbie, come and get me. And she went and got her.
So she came, according to James, she came and helped pack you up and help move your stuff over there?
Yes.
Okay, so you were staying there, like, during while the stuff was going on with the court between you and the baby and James. Like, they're trying to establish him as the father. Why wasn't he on the birth certificate? Did you guys have some type of fight, or?
No.
No?
His ID had expired. He had his ID, but since it was expired, they said they couldn't do it.
So he couldn't sign the birth certificate because of that?
Yes.
Okay.
Though James had expressed his fear that Janiyah could potentially be taken from him due to this unfortunate issue, he'd failed to file for custody. The detective shifts to another important subject.
When you went to stay with your aunt, were you taking medication then?
Sure.
Weren't taking any medication? Were you supposed to be taking some?
Yeah.
Or why didn't you want to take it? Just didn't? Okay. How long were you staying there before the baby came and stayed there?
2 weeks.
And then the court gave custody to your Aunt Debbie, right?
Yes.
While it appears that Deasia is clearly under suspicion, perhaps not everything is as it seems.
I was down there talking to one lawyer. I come back and they don't talk to her into getting the baby. And my niece now, they talked her into getting the baby, her lawyer, and I didn't know what was going on. I just said we all pitch in and help because I work. And she's retired, so I said, well, I'll pitch in. So I was like, no, we want the baby. We don't want her to go in a foster home.
Cindy explained that her sister Deborah was hesitant to take on the responsibility of caring for Janiyah. It seems she felt obligated to head the effort, though she wasn't equipped to handle
So that must be just another sister in this, is what he's saying. So that's not her mom, I guess.
Yeah.
It's her sister.
everything that
Yeah.
came along with it. Maybe that had an impact on an extreme action
How
she'd
sad.
take in a matter of just a split second. One she'd come to desperately regret.
She got the baby, and that's what they going on. Yes, she was supposed to be around the baby, so.
Supposed to be around the baby, that was part of the rules.
Yeah.
That's what I see my baby.
Before you ended up with the police, how long were you there with the baby? About 8 days? Okay. So the night the police ended up getting called to the house, we talked to your aunt, Debbie, and she said when she went to bed that she gave you the baby. She said her eye was hurting her real bad. She was trying to take her medication. Do you remember that? Mm-hmm. And she said she passed the baby off to you. Is that correct?
Yes.
And with this line of questioning, everything begins to shift in an unnerving direction.
The night when all this happened and the police came, and you had the baby in your room, was the baby sleeping in a crib, in the bed with you, in the chair? Where was the baby at?
The crib.
It was in a crib in your room?
Yes.
One of the things we saw in the bedroom was a broken lamp. Do you remember how the lamp got broken?
No.
Obviously, at some point, something bad happened with the baby. Okay? Do you remember what happened?
No.
How did the baby get into the kitchen?
I don't know.
Do you think Aunt Debbie did something to the baby?
Yes.
You think it was Aunt Debbie?
Yes.
What do you think she did?
No.
The idea was unfathomable, but the alternative was even more unimaginable. Aside from Janiyah, Deasia and Deborah were seemingly the only individuals in the home around the time that the terror ensued. Detectives had to explore the possibility that the combination of Deborah's own personal and medical issues, along with the responsibility of caring for a baby, had caused her to snap. Perhaps Deasia's reality had truly become a mother's worst nightmare, and her own aunt had taken Janiyah's life.
Oh my God, just kill me with my throat.
How did you kill her?
Stabbed her.
She stabbed her?
Yes.
Do you know what she stabbed her with?
The knife because it was right next door.
The knife was next to the baby?
Oh, the baby hand when I saw it.
The what? I'm sorry?
It was on the baby hand when I saw it.
So you went out there and saw.
No, when I heard her scream.
She hadn't seen the infant's lifeless body. She'd heard Robert's little girl's blood-curdling screams as the child entered the bloodied kitchen, and word of the grisly scene soon made its way through the home. But clearly, things weren't quite adding up.
How do we make that
You
leap
pause it.
from...
You see how I got confused that they were gonna blame the aunt?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was cleaning my bathtub and I stopped and I'm like, what the fuck? The aunt did it? Nuh-uh, I thought the title was the mom did it. And another thing about the title, none of these videos they don't pause it and and this was the moment that they fucked up. You know what I mean? They don't ever do that. They need to have that moment be and this was the moment they realized that they just given themselves up. They don't do that.
Yeah.
The baby's acting like a normal baby to the point where we end up where it is badly injured and dies in the kitchen. That
I don't know.
you don't know?
I guess when I Debbie was popping.
Okay. Here's where we're gonna take a little turn. That's not what happened.
The detectives
pause
had
it?
come to this meeting armed.
She had 3 days in a psych ward to come up with some story, and all she came up with is my aunt must have did it. She must have been sleepwalking.
Yeah.
Fucking ridiculous.
With indisputable evidence.
At what point during all this did you have the knife in your hand?
Of course, the detectives already know the answer to this question. They just need to hear it from Deasia.
I didn't have a knife in my hand.
You never had the knife in your hand, so those aren't your fingerprints that are on the knife in there?
No.
Are you sure about that?
Yes.
So if we pull that up and your fingerprints on that knife, how am I going to explain that then?
My fingerprints just stay on there.
They just stay on there?
You know what I'm saying? My fingerprints are not on there.
No, but I'm telling you that they are. I'm saying, how do I explain that?
By checking it?
By checking it? Why, we did check it.
No, my fingerprints are not on there because I didn't touch it.
Okay. Well, you're thinking that your aunt did it, right?
Yes.
Even though she was completely asleep, had no blood on her hands. You still think she's the one that did it?
Yeah, she sleepwalks.
She sleepwalks?
Yes.
Do you sleepwalk at all?
No.
How should Bill and I explain all the blood and stuff that was all over you? You don't know?
No.
Take a guess. What do you think would be a good explanation?
At this point, the detectives are done entertaining Deasia's absurd claims and denials. They employ some tactics that weren't successful last time around.
Do you know the difference between a bad person?
Hey, Snabs. Which one do you think's the good cop and which one do you think's the bad cop?
Well, they're not really playing that. Well, I mean, if anybody's the good cop, it's the silent one that's not talking much, and the other one's confronting her, so he must be the bad cop if that's going on at all here.
It's the other way.
The good cop has a bald spot of a heart.
Nope, both of you guys are wrong. Just keep watching.
Yeah, you're wrong, Timmy.
Versus a bad thing, like doing a bad thing. Do you understand the difference?
Yes.
So there are people out there who are bad, okay? But there are people out there who aren't bad, who sometimes do bad things. And there's a big difference in that. And that's just what we're trying to find out. Do you think something was just going on that may have caused you to do this?
Yes.
What do you think was going on?
No, I'm just trying to take my baby.
People were trying to take your baby from you and that upset you?
Yes.
Okay. Did that make you feel like if you did this to the baby, then nobody would take it away from you?
I didn't do nothing to the baby.
But detectives aren't yet able to overcome Deasia's denials, as she continues to claim that she didn't cause Jania's death. They continue at it and try a different approach.
I don't think you wanted anything bad to happen to the baby. I don't think that at all. You wouldn't have kept trying to stay there and be around the baby if you wanted something bad to happen to it. But you would agree that something very bad happened. Okay, and the baby is no longer with us and the baby's dead. Okay? But the manner in which the baby died was caused by somebody with very deep feelings, very strong feelings. There was a lot of angst in what was done. Somebody had very strong feelings towards that baby. Okay? And the person I find with the strongest feelings one way or other about that baby is you. You're the person that had the strongest connection. And what I'm trying to get to the bottom of what happened here, I think a big goal for the police is we want to know exactly what led up to this, what may have caused or what may have led you to react in such a way so that we can help somebody else from not doing it. If you could help another mother with the stuff that you were suffering from in the postpartum, wouldn't you want to do that? You know Aunt Debbie didn't do this. You don't want to blame it on Aunt Debbie. That's not going to help. Okay? Do you think I'm getting a little close there with the fact that you just don't want to believe you did it? How do you?
Yes.
So, when you think about Jania, how do you feel now?
I feel real sad.
Real sad?
And disappointed.
Why do you feel disappointed?
Because I just lost smoke. My daughter, and I really love her.
And none of us in here doubt that you loved her. Okay? Just because of what happened, that doesn't mean you didn't love her. I want you to tell me what made you upset that night. What started all this? What happens that makes you upset?
Nothing.
Nothing upset you?
No.
The detective directly confronts Deasia with more evidence.
How did you end up with all this blood on you when the police get there? You don't know?
No.
Well, how would you explain it? If you were the police detectives, how would you explain you with all the blood all over you? Why there's blood all over your room where you were sleeping?
It's so weird how the blood splatter and whatever, they blur it. Like, I love how it's okay for them to tell this horrendous story, but God, if they showed the red stuff, that would just be the end of the world. Like, I get them blurring the baby on the counter, but they're just like showing the blood that's on her clothes. It's like blurred in every spot where there's blood.
Why
it's like
your fingerprints are on the knife.
I don't know.
You don't know?
No.
What do you think we think when we see all that?
That I killed me. That I was the one that killed my daughter.
The detective strategically transitions to the topic of Deasia's loved ones, including James and her family, as he continues to build his case in hopes that something will trigger Deasia to tell the truth.
Do you still have feelings for James?
No.
You know what James asked about you?
What?
So when I talked to James, he said to me, "Can I go see her while you were at the Deaconess?" And I said, well, at this point, we're not letting anybody up there because people are concerned for your own safety from yourself, and they were monitoring you. And then Bill and I were concerned because we didn't want anybody else up there talking to you yet. But he asked a bunch of times, "Can I go see her? I think I'm the only one that can help her. I think I'm the only one that can get her to open up. I think she'll feel comfortable talking to me." I was impressed with James because given the circumstances of what has happened, I'm not too sure that I would be asking questions about you. He was upset about Janiyah, but he still was concerned about you. The rest of your family asked those same
what
type
the
of
fuck is going on? We're watching Negan brush their teeth live. This is awesome. We should all brush our teeth right now. Brush your teeth, Timmy. You stinky breath bitch.
questions. Were you surprised to hear that James and your family was asking about you?
Yes.
Oh, he's going to brush his teeth.
And to be honest, I was surprised too. I thought that
Everybody's getting their toothbrush and brushing their teeth. If you're watching this stream, make sure to get them teethies brushed. Might get him demonetized. Well, yeah, that's my point though, Arnie, is that like it's stupid that he has to blur blood spots, but he can tell this horrendous, like all these crazy stories. Like,
hey, are you redneck enough to where you don't even have to have your teeth in your mouth to brush them?
fuck you. No, I'm dumb. I don't like mine are in my mouth, but I want to get.
You still have all your teeth? You must not be eating enough pussy then, boy.
I'll try to eat more pussy. I'm sorry.
That's what my pap said. I said, hey, Papa, how come you ain't got no teeth? And he said, 'cause I eat too much pussy.
Damn. Holy shit.
they would be
Holy
really
shit.
mad at you. But do you know why they're not?
Why?
Because they don't think you're a bad person either. They don't think you're a bad person. We don't think you're a bad person.
You know the
But we
baby's
do
dad
think that you're
was going to
responsible
kill
for a
her.
bad thing.
You know the baby's dad was playing it cool to the cops, saying, oh, if I can just talk to her one-on-one, I can get her to talk, you know? And really, he's going to choke her for killing his daughter. That's what any real dad would do, is like, bitch, you killed my daughter, I'm going to kill you. And, like, play it cool until you get alone in the room with the bitch.
On Minecraft. And yeah, all right. Hell yeah. I like her cool hairdo. Okay, reminds me of like a cockatoo or something. It's all up in the air, like it's all fancy. You think if she gets excited, it sticks up even more? A cockatoo, right? Cockatoo? Am I thinking a good? I don't know.
Yeah,
my
or
birds.
a peacock. Ralphie May had a joke about Black Lady's hair and how they always have that claw in her hair, and she totally has the claw sticking out of her hair.
I don't know. She's got some crazy bullshit going on, like unkept shit going on with her hair, so it's all sticking up like crazy. A troll doll? Yeah, she's like a troll doll.
I'm not going to sugarcoat that or lie to you. And all the evidence and all the facts that we've collected and investigated goes right along the same line. It all points to you being responsible.
The detective explains that she needs to accept responsibility and deal with the consequences.
And we need to move forward from that. Not just for the court stuff and for police stuff, but just for the family and everybody else. Aunt Debbie didn't do this sleepwalking, did she?
No.
No, she didn't. What set this off? What happened? I do want to help you, but I want to help the other people too.
The detective needs to uncover the spark that caused the massive explosion of violence. But Deasia reverts back to her original claim. She just doesn't know. The other detective chimes in.
Do you understand, Jake's trying to tell you that you're not here because if you did it. We know that this happened, that you had a part in this, okay? That you did this. He's trying to figure out, we're all trying to figure out what was going on, how or why this happened. We know Aunt Debbie didn't do it, and you know that too.
At what point?
Well, what the
Once
fuck?
you got to the kitchen.
Damn. Negan's testing out their gag reflexes over there. Shit's getting crazy. Oh my god. They're practicing for when they hang out with you, Timmy. Negan can't wait to hang out with you, Timmy. Oh my god.
What happened once you got there?
This time, Deasia provides a different answer, and it's unbelievable.
I took that money and I killed her.
With her admission, less than 40 minutes into the interview, the denials cease.
And that's when she fucked up, or whatever. Yeah.
The ugly truth has finally been exposed. But it seems there's likely more to how this all came about. You recall the incident where the police were dispatched to the
Sunfire said toothpaste come.
apartment as a result of cries and screams coming from within that night in late January. Well, as it turns out, it wasn't the first foreboding episode that had occurred within those walls. James shared some disturbing details with the caseworker at that initial meeting, shortly after Deasia had been taken off to the hospital for an evaluation. The beginning of 2015, which marked Jania's first month, brought along with it some changes in Deasia. According to James, she began speaking regularly about religion. While that in itself wasn't a cause for alarm, it was out of character for Deasia. Her unsettling behavior included claims that demons were present. There were times she'd be fine one moment, then uncontrollably crying the next. James had managed to capture the audio of one such occurrence as he clutched Jania in his arms, unsure of what else to do. He played the recording for the screener, and a hysterical Deasia could be heard screaming, "Why, God? Why me? What did I do wrong? Who are these demons? Please stop it." According to James, the incident, not unlike the one that occurred just hours earlier, was unprovoked and completely unexpected. That said, Deasia is now about to reveal her version of the slaying that ensued just days earlier, and she's poised to divulge every last nauseating detail. Please be advised that the following segment may be too graphic for some viewers.
All right, everybody, close your eyes or whatever. Close your anus. Look, Jack's here. He'll add a little bit of cuteness.
Viewers. Deasia starts at the beginning.
I took Janiyah. So I changed her diaper. He kept screaming and crying. And then I didn't get to change her, so I just threw her across the room. He didn't die, so I walked over there.
Hey, pause it.
Wow.
That's how the lamp probably got broke. Remember, there was like a broken lamp, and they asked how it got broken, and she said she didn't know. Well, she was changing the diaper, and she threw the fucking baby, and she probably smashed it into the lamp.
Yeah.
I picked her up and banged her head, and it's looked herself 4 times. Then, after she was dying there, he clipped the little big old stick and hit her in the head 4 times. She wasn't dying fast enough. Yeah, that's when I ran in the kitchen and killed her and raised her off. Took the next one out, stabbed her in her head, told her to die. Stabbed her in the eye. She was still touching. She just cut her neck.
How many times did you cut to get her neck severed?
Until it sliced off.
Once you started stabbing her, what made you think you needed to cut her head off after that?
She wouldn't die.
Jesus.
She wouldn't die? How do you know?
Yeah, that's one thing that I was waiting to say towards the end of the video or whatever. She decapitated the baby.
No, she wasn't dead.
Because she kept breathing and
She kept what?
breathing and moving around.
She kept breathing and moving around?
Yeah.
Even after you were stabbing her?
Yes.
What did you do with the knife after that?
Put it in her hand.
Was there a reason that you did that?
Yes.
Why did you put it in her hand?
So it looked like she did.
So it would look like she did.
What? I was about to say that as a joke. Like, to make it look like a suicide. She literally said that.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, that's why the knife was in the baby's hand whenever the police showed up.
I was thinking when I was set, I was gonna. Oh my god.
Yeah, just keep just keep listening because it gets worse.
I was literally like that joke ran through my head, and then I didn't say it, and then she said
same
it.
thing.
And I'm
I
like,
thought the same
what
thing
the
earlier.
fuck? Yeah.
You did it?
Yes.
And then what did you do?
I went back around.
Deasia's revolting account is consistent with the evidence found at the scene.
What made you do that? You don't know?
No.
Do you regret what you did? Do you feel bad about what you did to Janiyah?
No.
Why don't you feel bad?
Just
Do you blame Janiyah for something?
no.
What made you want to kill her?
I don't know.
Do you think you could have
You
just...
noticed how the other cop
given her to
only said
James
like
instead?
one thing to her, right?
Yes.
Yeah. It's
Yeah, that's why I said he's like the bad cop because he just like told her like it's not if you did it, we know you did it. Like that's like the only thing he said to her basically.
Yeah, plus it seems like what it is he's there as a secondary cop for if stuff isn't working out, he joins in or whatever. And it seems like the first cop is already doing a good enough job interrogating, so he doesn't really need to jump in. He doesn't really need to fix what's already working. You know what I'm saying? Like, but he's probably standing by it, like, because there's different things they do that involves two cops, like the good bad cop thing, like you were saying earlier. That's really a real thing that they do, and that's a good example of something that needs two cops in order to obviously to do that kind of thing to someone, to do that kind of manipulation kind of game, mind game kind of stuff they do.
Cops always do that. They have so many games.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous how many games that they play.
Couldn't get in contact with him?
Yeah.
James, how long before Robert showed up?
I left at 10.
I'm sorry?
A good 15.
15 minutes?
Yes.
Did you hear the little kids scream when they came in?
They didn't even scream. The little girl said, the baby.
So you heard all that?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
After catching a glimpse of baby Janiyah in such an utterly brutalized state, Robert had to divert his eyes.
What do you see when you look at the child? What?
Look, lady, I don't want to describe the scene. The screen is very, very bad. All right, the little baby head is open, like open. I'm not going in there to touch nothing because I don't want to mess nothing up. I'm not going in there to look because I already seen it. But it's not. It's very violent. It's a very violent scene.
We're going to step out for a minute, okay? Were you able to tell anyone else about this?
No.
Okay.
What?
We'll be back in a minute, okay?
Out of all of the cases we've covered, this might be the most, like, disgusting one or whatever.
I'm glad I got to solo this. Me and Timmy, Timmy really didn't chime in too much, but that's Timmy for you. But this most fucked up one. I'm honored.
I wouldn't say, like, in general it's the most fucked up one, but it's the most, like, disgusting, like...
Well, how he was describing the head is open, I imagine that, like, because she said something about, like, the baby's head was smashed, too. So, like, did she chop it off and then smash it?
She said she beat the kid up before so it was probably damage done to the head before she did that, but... He probably didn't want to look a whole bunch, and so he didn't understand. That's why he said the kid's face is cut open, but really it was cut from the neck. They just didn't understand what they saw because they didn't want to, and I wouldn't have wanted to.
A glimpse
to look
is
at
enough.
look at it a bunch. Yeah, it's a glimpse, and then fucking 911. Holy shit!
Yeah.
You know? And I'm totally with that. I would throw up. I honestly I don't know how. How he wouldn't throw up in that situation. I would probably easily throw up and
his kids are there and he has to be strong for his kids because his kids are.
It would just be a natural reaction for me though. Fucking if I saw something like that, I think I would just I wouldn't be able to help but throw up. It would be regardless of who's around. Like it's just just a natural reaction that some people have to seeing stuff like that. But. Yeah, let's.
Okay.
Would you like something to drink or anything?
No.
Water or something?
No.
Detectives exit the room and don't return for any additional questioning. Less than 15 minutes later, Deasia is headed for the Justice Center. Deasia's account confirmed the Hamilton County Coroner's report. Baby Janiyah had sustained stab wounds on both her face and head. When the coroner was asked if she could provide the number of stab wounds, she stated that she'd lost count. Janiyah's right arm was fractured. In addition, her head had indeed been severed from her body, as Deasia so callously described. According to the Hamilton County prosecutor, Job and Family Services did their job. Nevertheless, the haunting case is one you likely can't wrap your head around, and the question of why really wasn't answered, at least not completely. Deasia's initial plea in response to her aggravated murder charge was not guilty by reason of insanity, but the presiding judge ordered that she receive psychiatric treatment. It was later determined that she was competent to stand trial upon receiving the required treatment. However, a trial date never came. Deasia Watkins pleaded guilty to the brutal murder of her own infant in February of 2017. She received a sentence of 15 years to life in prison, with the possibility of parole at 13 years, as she was given credit for the time she'd already spent in custody. Due to the monetization policies of this platform, we had to make a lot of cuts and heavily censor the content of our videos, with an entire team behind the creation of each video. And
okay, they're just advertised, not the apps. But that didn't sound like it was a good sentence for this. It said she could get parole in 13 years.
That's not even old enough for that child to, be an adult. Most cases when something that involves a minor, they usually sentence it to however long until that minor becomes like a fully functioning adult or something, but fuck, man, like,
Yeah, this is the kind of person that should never be let back out.
yeah, like, or they should be sent to the funny farm. Like,
well, what the fuck is a funny farm?
They have housing. It's where Christian is. It's why we don't know where Christian's at. It's because
they need to be in some sort of special psychiatric kind of place
even
or
if
something. This person should never be allowed back on the streets. If you let them back out on the streets, you're putting all of these people in danger, all these civilians, and going by her story, mostly the children they're putting at risk. So I think for sure someone like this, they should never be let out of prison or whatever special psychiatric kind of place or something. They
have these places that are just houses in the middle of nowhere, and people, like young adults that work there, they just go and basically babysit these people, and they have 4 to 6 people living in a house, and it's people that think that they're gonna get out, but like they're either too fucked in the head for prison, and they wouldn't be able to, be productive in prison. They won't be able to make license plates and stuff, but they've committed a crime that's so heinous that they shouldn't be out. Yeah, they have those type of places all throughout the country.
Yeah,
they're known as residential care or something like that.
And yeah, that's probably that might be the best way to describe this one. This is maybe the most disturbing of all the high crimes we've done.
We could do to them what we do in GTA.
What?
We could just murder them all.
Murder
all the crazy people. Yeah,
Minecraft.
GTA.
I mean GTA. You streaming again, Fortnite? I can maybe go live after this. Guys, how come we didn't accomplish the cool guy goal up there? Did you guys not like this extremely disturbing stream?
Goal, if you reach the goal, then we'll just stop. We'll just stop with the gross shit.
Yeah, we need to just make just cover the most disgusting stuff. The only way to turn it off is to tip and hit the goal, and then we go to a happy place. It's true. Arnie, yeah, I don't know. Should I go live again? To live again or not to live again? That is the question. What do you think, Timmy? You getting tired over there, Timmy?
No.
You better not be getting tired.
I don't have to in the morning.
It's what?
I'm shaving, so I don't have to in the morning.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, you need to go to sleep soon. I don't want you being late for work or something. And then you'll get fired from a cannon.
No.
Into the sun, they'll fire you.
No, I'm the place where I work, they can't keep people for some reason, even though it's not a hard job. But there's been other people that should have been fired way long ago for how many days that they've called off and not had an excuse. And every time I've ever been late or called off, I've always had a doctor's excuse, or just I've had some kind of legit excuse. I don't fuck around when it comes to tardiness and stuff like that. My emotional, or my type of character, what type of person I am when it comes to serious things is kind of you know how Hermione is with how serious she is with her studies and shit. That's how I am with work and stuff like that.
Yeah, me and Timmy know Hermione.
Yeah, I know Harmony.
Whoa. Okay. I'm gonna end this stream. And I don't know. I guess I'll come back with another stream.
Play Pokemon.
Pokemon?
Did you get Ruby?
No. Someone needs to give me Ruby so I can be happy. I can be a happy biscuit.
That one thing that Dirk was talking about sounded pretty awesome. I actually want to get that.
Oh, Dirt's a dork.
Where you can make your own.
Dirt's
combining
a dork. He didn't even show up for the show. Let's see what he
Is this
said.
like a show that he's supposed to?
Yeah, him and Gene are fired. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and end this stream. Give this stream a like if you haven't yet. If you're watching on YouTube,